Welcome to Be the Change podcast, where we talk about ways we can elevate our community, the environment, and ourselves. I'm your host, Carlin Davis, and today's podcast is called Reduce, Reuse, and Recycle, where I will be talking about the plastic pandemic and ways we as a society can work together to help improve the condition of our planet, but specifically, we're talking about plastic. Did you know plastic wasn't first circulated until 1907, was first recognized as a potential problem in 1969, and its reputation fell further in the 1970s and 1980s as anxiety about it increased? It blew up as an issue quickly and has taken over our landfills, covered the ocean, contaminated our food and water, and is slowly killing our wildlife and ourselves. Many people point the finger at big corporations because they're the ones making billions off of the health and condition of our planet. However, as the consumers, we are keeping these billionaires in business. Without our money and us buying their products, they wouldn't be able to keep producing. Consumers can still get the resources they need while limiting plastic waste and putting companies who mass produce plastic out of business for good. But before I get into the how, I have a special guest with us today, Rachel Ball, who is going to be joining our discussion today. How are you, Rachel?
I'm doing well, and I'm very excited to talk about this today because a lot of people aren't aware of the ways they could help, including myself. I try in whatever ways I can to reduce the amount of plastic that I use. For instance, I always bring my own reusable bags when I go grocery shopping, or if I forget them, then I'll save the grocery bags for trash bags to put it in my bathroom trash.
Yes, I do the same thing, or I'll use them for when I take my dogs out on walks.
Or if an accident happens in the house, those saved grocery bags come in handy sometimes.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you mentioned grocery shopping because that's actually the first thing I was going to get into. Grocery shopping is something we eventually have to do whether you go often or not. Choosing wisely between which grocery store you go to can save thousands of grocery bags a year, millions even, if everybody simply switched their go-to store. You could buy from stores who sell in bulk, such as Sam's Club or Costco, to avoid shopping bags. There are many stores such as Aldi that are a zero-waste organization or have zero-waste features in their stores, such as dispensers where you get everything you need in one container rather than multiple.
That is such a good idea, and I think that we should actually have more places to shop at like those. Not only does it save money for the customers, but the grocery stores are even saving money on resources. But how do I know if any stores like this are around me?
Litterlist.com is a website that has a list of stores you can shop at that try to limit waste. If you click on the state you live in, they provide you with a list from every county and town of locally owned grocery stores, markets, and co-ops that will promote bringing your own bags or welcome containers from home.
No way. I'm going to look that up right now.
Yeah, look it up right now.
Litterlist.com.
Find a zero waste store.
Oh, that's actually really cool. North Carolina. Dang, they really do list every
It has
county.
every county. There's Raleigh, Hickory, Greensboro, Franklin, Fayetteville, everything. Click on another state.
Okay. Get back. Let's do Kentucky.
Bowling Green, Lexington, Louisville. So yeah, that's pretty cool and very convenient.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be using that in the future.
And another way you can help to limit the amount of plastic waste is to rethink your storage. So you can dip Ziploc bags for glass jars or containers. You can also purchase flimsy silicone reusable Ziploc bags from places such as Walmart or Amazon. Not only does this help you slow the contamination of the earth, but it saves you money in the long run. A new plant-friendly business called Blue Land offers soaps in tiny biodegradable packets. You can pour the concentrated packet into a reusable soap dispenser full of water to make a bigger, regular concentrated soap that has the same consistency as any other soap. I actually saw Blue Land first on TikTok, and the guy who I guess is like the CEO or the founder of the company showed him using one of the small packets, which are made of biodegradable material, and then he pours it into any soap container you have at home. It can be glass or reusable plastic. He mixes it with water, and then it turns into just a regular soap that looks like any other soap. Another way that you could try to help save plastic, which I did not write in the notes, is that you can try to avoid buying sodas and waters in bottles at stores and only get sodas if they have a drink machine. You can also bring like your own little cup. Like Starbucks has their own cups that you can purchase, and I'm sure a lot of places wouldn't mind if you ask, hey, can I just use my reusable cup to like save plastic? Especially if you say it's to save plastic, like who's going to argue with that? One of the biggest contributors is disposable water bottles. How often do you buy disposable water bottles? I know personally I buy water bottles if I forget to bring my own reusable water bottle, or if I've just like temporarily misplaced it, then I'll buy a water bottle. But I try to use the same water bottle as many times as I can and refill it at water fountains, which water fountains are usually at every public location. Did you know that more than 60 million plastic water bottles are thrown away each day? In the U.S., 30 billion bottles are sold annually. 9 out of 10 plastic bottles globally are not recycled and end up in landfills or the oceans. And many of these bottles end up in landfills and the ocean because of the mass production from big-name corporations, brands such as Aquafina, Fiji, Evian, and many more. The water bottle industry is so large. They make billions of dollars off of the destruction of our planet. The reason it's so easy for them to make money is because it's so accessible to customers. Consumers usually buy disposable water bottles out of convenience. You can buy a bottle of water from almost any building you step into. Most buildings have water fountains, but people prefer the bottle of clean, filtered water from a vending machine instead. Not to mention, there's a grocery store or convenience store down the road from almost every single location. Investing in a water bottle is not only more convenient, but it starts saving you money over time in the long run. The average person should drink 3 to 4 liters of water a day, meaning you'd have to purchase several bottles of water to meet the daily requirement if you forget your water bottle. Now multiply that by the amount of people in America or the whole world. If they don't have a reusable water bottle, that's 60 million bottles that are thrown away in a day. A 20-ounce bottle of water typically sells for 69 cents to $2.50, which is 200 to 10,000 times more expensive than tap water. Some may argue, well, tap water is gross, it has bacteria, metals, and fluoride, which is toxic when overconsumed, which is very true. And me personally, I do not like tap water. You can tell when it is tap water. But luckily, technology has evolved, and you can now purchase a water bottle that filters the water through the base of the straw. The price can be as little as $13, and it raises as the value or quality does, and some insulate as well. Unlimited filtered water that's also free from public places sounds like a win. Me personally, I have a water bottle that filters my water that my mom bought for me, and I looked it up, and it is $75, but a lot of people will spend like $45 on a, what are those, like the Yeti, or there's another, or the Stanley cups. They're like almost $50, and they only insulate your water. They don't even filter it for you. So, I mean, if you're going to spend almost $50 on a Stanley cup, then why not just spend the extra $20, and it's also giving you clean water for up to 6 months. But like I said before, the prices are as little as $13. So if you don't have $75 that you want to blow on a, well, I wouldn't say blow, because it's definitely still saving you money in the long run. Even if the water bottle was like $150, you'd be saving money in the long run, because just think about how those disposable water bottles add up over time. The choices that we make, from our hygiene to our meals and our clothing, have an effect on the environment. As a consumer, you have the power to choose amongst a variety of businesses to give your money to. And overall, there are many ways that you can reduce your carbon footprint. All it takes is a quick Google research and enough passion for the future of our planet. By 2050, there will be more plastics in the ocean than there are fish, according to environmental scientists. Mindfully choosing better options than plastic when you have the opportunity is enough for the mass change to start. There is power in numbers, and your little bit of help can inspire others to participate in the change without totally flipping your lifestyle around. So setting the intention to use the least amount of plastic you can not only plants a seed for a more plant-friendly future, but it makes you feel better and is usually more financially practical. All it takes is initiative or having the drive or start to change, and the longer we sit back and don't try, the faster the problem will pile up. You see what I did there? Well, that is a wrap of our podcast. Thank you for listening. And there's so many other ways that you can help save the planet besides the ones that I've mentioned. All you got to do is a quick Google search, and there's plenty of people on the internet who are very, very passionate about this and have done pretty much all the work for us. All we have to do is just Google, hey, how can I simply, what little things can I do to help save the planet? And there are so many ways that really don't take that much effort or time out of your own day, but makes the world of a difference. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm your host, Carlin Davis, and I hope to see you next time. This is podcast Be the Change. Share to your friends, your family members, whoever, and thank you for listening.